Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today well, first of all, I know I have a new background. I moved some stuff around in my room so I had a better background and it's not as peachy. So let's go ahead and get started. Today I thought I'd talk about Star Wars Legends. A lot of people are familiar with them, a lot of people aren't. There are some people who want the Star Wars Legends to be canon. After Star Wars Return of the Jedi, there was about 16 years between Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace, and that period of time is where we didn't really have a lot of Star Wars. So like really the only thing that we had between those times that was Star Wars-y in form of a movie was Caravan of Courage. Which was an Ewok movie that was made for television. But anyway, so between that time, there was a lot of space for people to start writing stories and comics and video games and all that stuff. So that's when the Legends became pretty big. Back then they were called the Expanded Universe, but for the sake of the video I'm calling them Legends because they're now Legends. They're not canon anymore. So there were a ton of books, comic books, and video games that came out during that time. The beginnings of it becoming huge were the Thrawn novels by Timothy Zahn, which are great books and I highly recommend them. And that's when a lot of fans, either old or new, started drawing into the books and video games, and it just went crazy. There were good things and there were bad things about the Legends. Not really bad. I mean, there were some bad things, some weird things. Mainly Chewbacca being killed by a moon. He was crushed by a moon. That was weird. I'm glad we don't have that canon anymore. There were also very confusing things, which I will get into later. But there were some good things that came out of it. We got Aayla Secura, and she became canon in the prequels, and then we have Coruscant, which became canon in the prequel. But when George Lucas was head of Lucasfilm, every decision had to go through him. He went on record saying that he was okay with the Expanded Universe or the Legends, but it was a different universe than what his was, and he didn't mind it at all. But he said they did make a book of the Star Wars universe and like what was what and who was who, and so like if he made up a name, he would figure out if that name was taken. So it kind of became really difficult for George Lucas to write anything because he had to go through several different people, not through different, but had to make sure it was okay and people had to okay it with him. So it was all like this huge mess. Was this taken? Was this not taken? I mean, I could imagine it was like probably the most confusing thing ever and probably the most disorganized thing ever. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad it's not canon. So in 2013, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, they did away with all the Legends. So the only things that were canon were the main movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then Clone Wars TV show, which I think was still in production around that time, or maybe just finished up, and then the Clone Wars movie. The Star Wars Holiday Special was not considered canon, but you know, whatever. And then the Ewok Adventure is not considered canon, and that C-3PO and R2-D2 TV series that was in like in the 80s or something like that. But like little stuff like that. Besides the main movies and the Clone Wars TV show, those are all safe, those were all canon. The rest of everything was not. Disney was smart to do this, and here's why. So Star Wars Legends had several timelines, which a lot of people don't know, but they do. You have G, T, S, C, and N. So G is like ultimate canon, so that's all the movies that George Lucas made, and the T timeline was only the Clone Wars. The C timeline stands for continuity, so this is the EU, the Expanded Universe, the Legends. So this is everything that doesn't consider itself G, S, or N. S canon was like kind of Legends, but they were older, like a lot older. So this was like Star Wars Holiday Special, so that's what S is. N is for like stories that aren't just single, like little, almost like novellas kind of thing, like little short stories. This would be like Star Wars Jedi Academy, that kind of video game, like those type of things. So as you can see, all these are super confusing. Yeah, all in all, it was a very smart decision, and I completely side with Disney on this one. But yeah, so many confusing elements, so many confusing timelines, but what Disney is doing is very smart because you have all of these ideas that were used before that maybe a lot of people like, and Disney is slowly bringing it back into canon in a very appropriate and much clearer way than what Legends did, because you just had people who wanted to write, which is fair. Reintroducing things is gonna be great. Like we got Thrawn, which is one of my favorite characters. He's awesome. I say go and read the books if you want to read the books, if you find one that's awesome. Actually, my favorite Legends book in the past, which you can see because the front is completely worn away, but this is the back and the spine is like lifting up, so this was very well loved. This is one of my favorites. and it's the first in a series of the Before the Storm series. I highly recommend this one. This is, oh yeah, 96, so this is around the time when George Lucas started writing Phantom Menace. So that, and then I have all three. I'll just show you the first one, the Jedi Academy trilogy. I recommend this too. It's really good. If you like Alphabet Squadron, I highly recommend anything by Aaron Alston. If you want to read anything that is canon, I highly, highly, highly recommend Lost Stars. So yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope that cleared some things up for you guys, and I hope you got some good recommendations of books, because I love reading books. It's one of my favorite things other than watching movies and TV shows. So yeah, so I hope that you liked this video, and if you liked it, please like the video and then subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!